Welcome back to the Us versus Them channel. I'm your host Vince, and we're going to break down the main event for the fight later today. We got Carlos Ulberg versus Dominick Reyes. Ulberg is sitting at a minus 255 favorite, and Reyes is at a plus 210 underdog. Both these guys are kind of on a streak right now. Ulberg, I think he's got 7 in a row. Reyes has 3 in a row. All of Reyes' wins come by way of knockout in the last 3. So they're both on a nice little streak for sure. And I think the winner is either going to be in a title eliminator or they could be even fighting for a title here. So it's good, a lot of definitely title implications on this fight for sure. They both have knockout power in their hands, and they both do lean on their boxing skills. I think Ulberg probably mixes in the other strikes a little bit better. He does land some leg kicks. He does, he mixes it up just a little bit. But I think the power advantage is probably going to lie with Reyes. Reyes knocks people down with jabs recently. That's what he's been doing. He's been knocking dudes down with jabs. That's crazy. He's got big power in his hands. People can lunge right into one of his shots. He just did that in his most recent fight against Nikita Krylov. Krylov kind of ran right into his shot and he knocked him out. But we've also seen that happen to Dominick Reyes too. So that's something he's got to be mindful of. When he lunges in, he leaves his chin open. And, against a guy like Carlos Ulberg, who's got power in his hands, he's got precision striking with his hands especially. I think they both do. But, with a guy like Ulberg, if you lunge in like that, you're leaving yourself open. At least have your chin tucked, and that's something sometimes Reyes seems like he's almost overzealous with doing damage or leading the dance and doing, attacking his opponent. And that's why he's been knocked out that way before. Ulberg, he's a tough dude, obviously. I think this is a fight between an athlete versus a fighter. I think Reyes is more the fighter, and Ulberg is just, he's got pure athleticism. That's not all what he relies on exclusively to win fights, but you can definitely tell he's got just a natural ability to, to fight. And I think that could translate to other sports as well. He just happened to choose fighting, So he's got good boxing, like I said, good left hook, does work the body a little bit. But this is kind of a tough fight to pick. I am leaning towards Carlos Ulberg to get this one done. I think he's got the tools to get it done. I really do. And Reyes, as much as it pains me to pick against him because I feel like I've been a part of that streak a little bit. We got to go to the fight where he started the streak. We got to watch that in person, which was sick. So it feels like we've been kind of a part of it. But I do think that Ulberg just might be a little too much for him right now. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Reyes does win this fight. I could, Carlos Ulberg has been knocked out before, and if anybody is going to knock him out again in the division, it's Dominick Reyes. I mean, he's just that type of dude. So, but I am going to lean towards Ulberg on this one. I'm going to pick him by decision. I think he's going to win this one by decision. I think they're both going to give each other a lot of respect early in the fight. And as the fight starts to go on, the power starts to fade away a little bit. But I think Ulberg is going to win the point fight. He's got the skills to win the point fight. So give me Carlos Ulberg by decision. All right, guys, that's my breakdown for the main event this weekend. Stay tuned for our next video, which is coming up really soon, where I give you my official parlays. Like I said, I'm going to change a little bit about how we do the parlays this week, just to try to get an opportunity to win some money here. So stay tuned for that. If you feel frisky and you want to tail it, definitely do so. If you agree or disagree or anything like that with my pick, drop a comment below. And that's all I got for you guys. I'm fucking out of here.